Today, I shared the real behind the scenes story about a major mess up on my part and how flowers, yes, flowers, saved me. Intrigued? Let's go. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Art of a Meaningful Life podcast. My name is Carmen DeValis, and I am your host. Today is recording something we call Soul Snaps. These are shorter videos, kind of to the point. I know y'all are busy too, and I thought, why not do some short ones every once in a while? And I would like to think they're a little bit funnier here and there because maybe I have time for editing, but hey, we'll have to see about that. Hey, and in case I forget, please check the subscribe button. It really helps out. And what does it help out with, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you, I have this moonshot vision. This is this big, crazy vision that I've actually had since probably about 1994, if not before. And it is still in my heart, and I'm itching my way toward working on this. In fact, this podcast is part of that. So, my moonshot vision is I want to foster a movement where compassion, kindness, and creativity are celebrated. There's as essential to our human condition. Yeah, like essential. We can't live without these things. And I truly believe we cannot. And I think we've gotten a little off track here and there. And I know personally in my life, I have. And I thought maybe today would be a good time to talk about how I have gotten really off track because, in honesty, being a human means we have our ups and downs, and times where we're like right on track for that kind of life we want to live, and other times it's like kaboom, not close at all. Okay, so quick story from March of 2020. March of 2020, does that ring a bell for anybody? Pandemic, lockdown. I kind of figure you do unless you live under a rock, because I think it's something we will all never forget. So at the time, I was already finished with my nursing career, 40 years as a nurse, and I was a portrait photographer working with entrepreneurs. So I photographed for social media, lifestyle images, and I got to know people and really, really loved it. A 3-year-old business for me. It was growing fast, but I was really, really tired. I felt like I worked and worked and worked, and indeed I did. I was always working and had trouble sleeping, stayed up late. I lived alone, so there was nobody there really to say, hey, aren't you going to get some sleep? Because I was on this mission with my business, not my moonshot vision. That's something you just can't put down, but I needed to support myself and I needed to make a living. And there was a lot to do. There was always something to create, like blog articles. So I have more hits to my website, my social media. I was helping people with their social media. So dang, mine had to look good, right? I was doing photo sessions and marketing for photo sessions and speaking at meetings and editing photos, and you got the picture. I mean, it was just really nuts. And I was really tired. I was so tired that in driving to different networking meetings and such, I got so tired I needed to pull off the side of the road and nap, which is just crazy. And this was even when I did get sleep at night. I was just really, really tired. And I had seen a doctor a week or two before this major lockdown stuff. And, there you go. You're tired. You're a woman. You're working too hard. But we'll do some checks and we'll see. All right. So on day one of lockdown, as I'm learning to navigate Hulu, something kind of new for me, I got a call from my doctor. This is what I hear. Carmen, your blood test, static, biopsy, static, because it's like a lot going through my head at this moment. Cancer, more static, louder static, oncologist, crappy insurance, avoid other people. Yeah, I live alone. I have cancer. and I couldn't be near anyone else. So that meant like no hugs, no crying over wine, no laughing over wine. I was alone. And yeah, that was just a really, really rough time. And I was also wondering, like, how am I going to make this? How am I financially going to make this? So my physical, emotional, relationships, and financial parts were like all on attack. And I didn't even know like what emotion to experience first. It was like an overwhelm. And I did what any card carrying overachiever would do.
No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no, no,
I worked
no,
longer and
no,
harder.
please,
Yeah. Can you relate to this? Somehow I thought if I could just power through and work harder, yeah, I would figure a way to make money during a lockdown, take care of myself during the treatment, and not least of all, yeah, survive. I don't know what I was thinking. I probably wasn't thinking. I was probably just trying to feel and didn't even know how to feel. And then one day I caught a look at myself in the mirror and thought, yikes, what happened to you? Yeah, those dark circles, they were not makeup remnants because I didn't wear makeup for days. I thought maybe a shower, maybe if I wash my hair, that would help. And I could just take a break from work and do that. I couldn't really help but look at myself and be very honest at this point because I know better than just to keep hustling in my business. So, again, that card carrying overachiever, I blocked out time for a 15-minute walk. See, I have a master's degree in nursing and health and wellness. Like, this was not new to me at all. That's like how lost I was. Then I decided, no, I'm going to go for a little bit longer. And I packed up my camera, put on my boots because we've got snakes around here, and went to find some wildflowers. I ended up finding wildflowers on the side of the road. Because here's the thing, the parks were closed. And you know what? You can get shot around here wandering around in somebody else's fields, right? But there wasn't a lot of traffic. That's one of the things about the pandemic and the lockdown. So the side of the road was really pretty perfect. And so here I am in this quiet place because there's no traffic. The colors, seeing flowers pop up every year and wondering, how did you survive this big freeze? How do you keep coming back every year, even, bright and beautiful? I saw ladybugs dancing, no kidding, on the tops of grass, the blades of grass. I got some pictures of that, which are very cool. And I couldn't help but admire how there were young flower buds alongside these aging flowers. And you know what? They were both queens. I'm telling you, if they could, they'd both be wearing tiaras. But it was like they were saying, I've got you, to one another. And I really paid attention to this because I didn't have a lot of that in my life at that time. And yeah, it was a really lonely, difficult time. And you know what? While I was there in that field on the side of the road with my boots and I had a blanket I was sitting on, time just kind of stood still. And these ideas, these creative, innovative ideas on how to take care of myself and my business just seemed to like flow right through me. Because you know why? Because I finally shut up. Like I silenced my mind enough to listen. And I silenced my mind by not thinking about what's the next great photo shot, where's the prettiest flower, but just waiting kind of to be called to where I needed to go. And in this silence, in this time, I could silence all the worries and the wondering, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? That's when the inspiration came to me. And then I also had this thought, no kidding. Dang, I wish I could make money doing this because this is really fun. Does anybody photograph nature and make a living? Yeah, like what rock did I live under, right? So a quick Google search really changed my entire business and life trajectory. So I began to see myself as this artist in my own life, and I created this healthier routine. And I'm not just talking about my physical health, which I did because I kind of neglected that. And I was going through a lot with my cancer treatment and stuff. But I'm also talking about my relationships and my emotional health and the time that I spent working versus just wandering in the wildflowers, even if it's on the side of a road. And so here I am. I'm an award winning floral photographer and artist, 5-year cancer survivor. But I never forgot those 40-year-old roots in my nursing where I learned to support others. And no kidding, in 1994, when I was working on my master's, it was all about creativity and our spiritual needs and how to meet those needs. And yet, you hear what I did, right? And this was not the only time in my life I really fell off the rail. See, so the problem with so many entrepreneurs like me, and perhaps kind of women in general, I'm just going to make that general statement. I'm sure there are people who are not, but we just kind of get lost in the hustle. Like there's so much to learn, there's so much to do. And we tell ourselves, yeah, this will just be for a short time, just until I get A, B, C done. And then I'm going to rest. And we've all been programmed, to feel the burn and to experience that. And yet somehow we're expecting these wonderful, innovative ideas to pop into our heads while we are eyeball deep in stuff. And I think sometimes we find a comfort in the to-dos. I kind of doubt that I'm the only one. I think there's probably more of you, but you can let me know, who have a to-do list where you will put something on your to-do list that you already did so that you could mark it off because, hey, that feels good. Don't deny it. It feels good. So anyway, we find some comfort in being eyeball deep in the stuff. Then we struggle to get out of that hustle by doing more. And when we venture out for fun, you know what happens. Our minds are filled with thoughts and worries about our businesses, and we're tied to our devices. Here's the good news. The solution is to tap into our own creativity. Maybe you were taught as a child or somebody told you along the way, you're just not creative, but it's not true. We are all creative. We are born with creativity. It might be in a different way, right? Some of us are very good at, say, cooking and can work wonders with cooking, while others can sew or do art or speak or write or parent. How we do that, it's creativity, and we use art. And I love art, and I want to spell that out for you, A-R-T. And that's not because I think you're dumb. That's because A-R-T, or art, is my framework for A, awareness, R, routine, and T, tools. This is what I have to bring to you in my workshop, because art belongs in your life, but it's not what you think. I am offering live Zoom workshops and some in person in the Dallas area. These can change the trajectory of your life and business too. I know what I'm talking about because, like I have fallen off the wagon, like not just that one time, but other times before. And when I find that when I really tap into it, and what I'm really talking about is creativity, it's life-changing. So you're going to find the link in the video description. Sign up so you can be notified of future workshops. I also have a Q&A at the end so I can get to know you better and hear maybe what your unique challenges might be. You won't regret learning more about art, A-R-T. Hope you find this entertaining and informative, and actually gives you some inspiration to welcome some change into your own life. So let's take it step by step. Sign up, learn about the workshops, and I'll see you there.